26, the City of Manao issued a closure order to Big Hotel. This caused fear among employees, hotel guests, and unrest among investors. Tonight, we delve deep into this issue. I am Bruce Cortez Villosas. This is Newslounge, special edition on inews.ph. Good evening once again and welcome to Newslounge, inews.ph. And tonight our guest, we have our President of Hotel Resorts Restaurants Association of Cebu, Carlo Anton Suarez, and of course, Attorney Jamal James Calipayan, Chief of Staff, 6th District, or the Office of Congressman Jonas Cortez. Good evening, gentlemen. So let's get straight to the point. Attorney, what really happened to the Big Hotel issue? Can you tell us your version of the story?
Yes, well, the Big Hotel issue is actually a very sad reality that happened in Mandawi City. For us, it's just a simple disagreement on the interpretation of a contract which resulted into a closure of a very respectable and very booming ang business no diha sa ato ang city, and it should not have reached to that extent no ang resulta niya no, that we needed to close a business no a hotel for that matter. We believe that it's very drastic, and this is just a legal issue which could have been resolved in a more kanang peaceful, or appropriate manner, without going to that.
Now take us back to the time when that Mantawi festival was just a bare land where there's a pile of container vans. How did the term when Jonas had his term as a mayor converted it into an entertainment arena?
Yes, well, when Jonas went into office as mayor 2007, you have to understand that property, it's the city-owned property.
It used to be Uniwide sales.
Yes, that was a half-constructed nga Uniwide nga area. Kana siya nga lugar, when you look at it, puros na siya bare, no? But there are already lessees on that area. Naghanang nag-abang diha. However, ang mga developments diha were all container yards and bodegas and warehouses. When the second term of Jonas, that's when I also joined the administration. He decided to revitalize the commercial vibe no in the city no. Ganahan niya nga buhion ang commerce sa city. That's when he decided that he wanted Mantawi Drive kanang area. During that time, it was only Park Mall ang commercial nga area diha no. They opened 2008. So diha dapita maura na siya ang commercial nga business o activity diha. He decided that at the back of that area kanang mga lugar nga city-owned lots nga gipang-lease og mga private businesses, iyaha untang ipa-develop into hotels, restaurants, malls, and uban ng mga commercial nga mga businesses.
So that's how we have City Times Square.
That's how it happened.
Now on the issue of the 15 pesos or 12 pesos per square foot rental, how did that happen? Why has there been an issue in the price per square foot?
Yes.
Why is this 15 per square meter rate has been an issue in the current administration?
Well, ingon ani man gud ang ato ang gibuhat. No, in order to redesign the whole area, we had to think outside the box. The only way to do that is to think like an investor rather than to think like a government. When you think like a government, all you want is income and revenue. When you think like an investor, you have to decide that these areas no are basically vacant lots, and you need investment to come in. For investments to come in, businessmen need to have an assurance. One of them is that they need a longer term sa ilahang pag-abak. Secondly, they need the price no to be not as high or as kanang sa uban ng mga commercial nga area. So we designed an investment package nga would be appealing to the businesses. So we offered to extend their lease terms taas gamay, and at the same time we also offered nga kanang dili kaayo mahal no ang ilahang rates, and that's how it happened nga The price that was agreed upon, I think it started as 12 pesos per square meter. And then of course there were acceleration clauses, karon naabot na siya of 15 pesos per square meter. That's also with the condition that within 1 year from signing of the contract, they will invest a certain amount of money. For example, sa kanang big hotel, they were required to invest about 60 million pesos, I think, within the
Infrastructure.
year. Yeah, infrastructure
Not
for
necessarily
commercial
cash.
activity. Not in cash, for commercial investment na siya. They did that with the hotel, and then they had to conduct that commercial activity.
Now let's ask a businessman, is that point of view valid, Carlo? I mean, before I have to ask you with the stand, is the validation and the statement of Attorney Jamal based on investments in the 15 per square meter is acceptable for you being a businessman?
Oh, well, you know, the goal for the city of Mandaue is really to prosper and to grow. What Mayor Jonas Cortez did was a very good job. You know, he had a vision to enable Mandaue to grow. Right now, look at Mandaue. Mandaue is furnishing in terms of hotels. You have leisure activities. Before, when we say Mandaue, it's all about manufacturing, offices,
industrial.
But now, I can say it's the next growing city. And I'm happy to say, not only on the Association of Hotel and Restaurant, but you look at now, there's about 2 to 3 hotels opening in that area. One of the big hotels, very big and iconic hotel, the Bay Hotel for 600 rooms, is in Mandaue. You have plenty of restaurants, array of places to go and choices. So which brings to the picture that the vision about 4 years back is growing. It's like when you're planting for how many months and it grows, and now it really grew to its potential. And it's not the maximum potential yet.
Yes.
So, going back now, that this issue has been raised and a closure order was released by the City of Mandaue through the Office of Mayor Luigi Quezon. What is the stand of the Hotel, Resorts, Restaurants Association of Cebu on the closure order?
Well, our stand is, personally, I called the management, the owner of a big hotel, and we discussed on how HRAC can help big hotel. And as per his decision right now, they're doing all the legal works. The lawyers are there addressing the issue to the government. So as per HRAC, what do we do to help big hotel? Number one, we hope the hotel will not close.
Definitely.
Because definitely it's very bad for Cebu and for Mandaue. Why? Tourism in Region 7 is growing. Number two, we need that hotel in Mandaue because Big Hotel is one of the first hotel in Mandaue.
That's true.
In Mandaue. And what they're doing is very good. They have clean rooms, very nice function rooms, good food. So a total, when you have a total package, that's what a wonderful hotel can offer, a business hotel. Number three, we need rooms in Cebu. We lack of rooms. So if that will happen, Cebu City will lack again rooms. But the most important part, which is number 4, is the jobs. We don't want to lose jobs. Because jobs is what our president is moving, and as well as we need to create jobs. So as for the hotel resorts, we want to help them, support them, like hopefully, and our goal is hopefully they will not close. They're doing the legal remedies already, and for the Hotel Resort Association is we're gonna help them if ever it will close in terms of taking care of their guests. That's what the management told me, and as for HSAC, we're here to support them. But technically, we don't want
Any
hotel
property
to close.
In your point of view, how will this affect the tourism industry? Continuous, how do we call this? Is this something that is abuse, or is we don't want to call it abuse because we're not certain yet of how we're going to disruption perhaps, or is this something that's legal and very appropriate for a city to do closure order? How will this affect the tourism sector or our tourism as a whole?
Well, as a whole, I would say this one is an isolated case. However, this isolated case is really not good for the tourism industry in Cebu. As I mentioned earlier, the tourism boom or the rise of percentage of tourist arrival, let it be international and local, has gone up. We have an increase of around 7.5% on 2018, and we expect more this 2019. And big hotel, when you say Mandaue, the first thing that will go into your mind is it's really big hotel. Because big hotel has been there and they have been established. But right now, when you say Mandaue, you have big and you have Bayo.
The Mayo.
You have Mayo as well.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy on Mandaue right now because it's booming. And rest assured, the succeeding years, it would really be very, very good.
Going back to you, attorney, how do you think this all started? This mess has all started. What is your personal point of view?
As I said earlier, no, it's a matter of legal interpretation. So actually, what happened was that property where Big Hotel is located is a government property. It was leased to a private firm, no, the Katumanan Hardware. Now, part of our requirements was that the lessee must conduct a commercial activity there. So Katumanan Hardware, not having any experience in the commercial side because they are actually on warehousing and hardware.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, the structure behind Big Hotel, that warehouse, was the one operated by Katumanan Hardware.
This was a bare lot, or was this an existing portion of the? Because we need to be transparent to our
Yes.
viewers as well. Is this part of the Uniwide Sales Bodega or
No,
a portion of it?
That's actually the adjacent.
Lot.
of the
So it was
Uniwide.
really a bare lot.
It's
We
basically
made that
bare.
clear. It's really bare.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
basically bare. They constructed warehouse 2007. 2012, we offered them the investment package in order to invest in commercial activities there. So what happened was they did not have the capacity to operate and to construct that. They had a sister company, and this was Sinore. And they assigned the lease to Sinore.
Okay.
Sinore is now operating the hotel and the other establishments there. So
City Suites.
the question during our time, we had no problem with the assignment, and it was authorized by Mayor Jonas Cortez.
Okay.
It was approved. When the new administration came, they questioned the assignment because there was no SP authority.
Sangguniang Panglungsod.
Sangguniang Panglungsod
Which is the city
authority.
council.
Yes, the city council. Yeah. In our opinion, we did not require the SP authority because it was clear in the contract of lease between Mandaue and Katumanan that Katumanan
And sublease.
may assign or sublease it, no? But more on assign to an affiliate or subsidiary. So there are specific parameters for the assignment. You cannot just assign it to anybody.
Okay.
So the fact that within that parameters, Katumanan subleased or assigned it to
do we have
Sinore.
legal papers to support Katumanan and the other one is Sinore, right? Who's
Yes.
going to take over
Yes.
the lease? Do we have supporting papers from Sinore to prove that they are affiliates?
Yes, actually, prior to the assignment, we required from Sinore the certification or holdings of any board of director of Sinore to have holdings in Katumanan and vice versa. And we found out, and there was a certification that was issued, that the president, Mr. Roderick Ngo, was holding shares of Katumanan in behalf of Sinore Corporation, and that basically makes them an affiliate of the corporation.
No specific percentage was being established in the contract. Because it just states anything that the president should be a shareholder of this particular organization as well.
Yes. Being the board of director, we believe that he was holding substantial shares, and I think he mentioned it, although I could not recall how much. But being the board of director of Katumanan, at the same time also the board of director of Sinore, Yeah, actually he was holding a substantial amount of shares of Katumanan Hardware. So basically that was the relationship. So that being the case, we believe that the implementation, that was just an implementation of a provision of the contract of lease. So there was no need to go back again to the Sanggunian for another authority.
Because everything was stated on the original contract.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what is now going on that the city mayor is now suing 7 city councilors because they ratified the contract?
Yeah, well, we have to go back a little. What happened was, there was an authority granted by the Sanggunian sometime in May last year. Authority to rescind the contract.
This is
However,
in
2018.
Okay.
Yeah. The authority to rescind, of course, does not carry with it already the fact of rescission. No? When you give an authority to someone, that person or that the city still has to comply with the requirements of rescission. Now, the requirements of rescission there, it's clearly stated that there should be a written notice of a violation and then a 6-month time or period to rectify the violation. If there is no rectification, that's the time when you can rescind it unilaterally. Unfortunately, that did not happen with the city. There was an authority to rescind, but there was no compliance with the provision of that contract. So, there was no actual rescission that happened. So, Mandaue City gave notice to Big Hotel saying that you have to comply because you are operating without any business permit. You have to comply with these requirements. Big Hotel did what it could do during that time, which was to go to the Sanggunian and ask for rectification. Why did it do this? Because earlier, there was already a legal opinion stating that this contract, this deed of assignment, can actually be ratified by the council. The cease and desist orders went to the Sanggunian and asked for rescission. For ratification. And the Sanggunian ratified the contract because all the legal bases were there. They cited in their letter all the legal basis, and they attached in their letter the deed of assignment.
So, why only the 7 city councilors and not all the councilors?
Well, this is where it gets, political. It's because the 7 city councilors, I think they also believe and they saw the wisdom of the letter, and plus these 7 councilors, they actually they believe in the initial or in the stand of Mayor Jonas Cortez then that there is actually no need to grant authority. But in order to give way to the opinion of the current administration that there is a lack of authority, so they just they ratify the contract to appease or to at least to put to rest the issue of lack of authority. So it's actually, for me, this is the move, and this is the action that would give or that would least impact the industry, the hotel, the employees there, and everyone involved. It would least impact the LGU and also the hotel. So I don't know why they had to go through all of those naikihan na hinaw nila, kaniguban pa ng mga butang, when it could have been resolved at a much more peaceful and diplomatic manner.
Okay, Mr. Carlo, before we end, my final question: if you're not a political personality and you're a businessman, but if you are the mayor of Mandaue, what would have been the best decision for you to do with that kind of issue?
Well, in my opinion, it's like this. Well, if we could like talk, set a meeting and talk to them, we want to do it gracefully because we don't want businesses to close, as it will impact not only the tourists to come in, but most especially the employees. So if we could do an amicable settlement and discuss things out and work together to solve that concern, and it's good not only for the hotel, but it's good as a whole, as in Mandaue. And we're looking forward for this case with Big Hotel and the government of Mandaue to work together to solve this problem, because we don't want that hotel to close, and at the same time it is not good for us Cebuanos to see, big hotel is closed because of this ongoing issue.
Join us next week as we seek the truth and deliver your latest online news and entertainment here on Newslounge. I'm Bruce Cortez Bollosas. Daghang salamat.